Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Welcome to the Prophecy podcast, where I read the Apocrypha, the Bible, and the Colburn Bible. When you come here, I always suggest that you cover your head. There's plenty of scriptures about head covering, but mostly it is so that there's no interference spiritually as you are listening in on the whatever it is that I am reading. I do suggest that you have a notebook because anything can happen to your electronics. So with your notebook, you are to take notes and write down any rhema words that may come up. And per usual, I always suggest coming back to the podcast to look for any dreams and interpretation. Amen. Amen. Nevertheless, you are free to use the notepad in your phone or your iPad or your laptop. I only suggest that you back it up and then back up the backup. If you're not already doing so, go ahead and follow the podcast so that every time I do a new episode, you will be notified. You can also follow the Prophecy Podcast on TikTok. And I'm excited to announce that I have officially started the YouTube channel. So follow Beautiful Feet, the Prophecy Podcast on YouTube. Beautiful Feet. Amen. Amen. There is a link on the YouTube channel that will take you over to the blog where I try to post at least twice a month of really important things. What's on a podcast is not what's on the blog. Well, it's not to the extent of what it is that's on the podcast. I simply use the blog to write about very important end time things to prepare people's minds and heart for what we are about to witness and live through. Amen. Amen. And you can also find the link to the podcast on YouTube. So there's multiple ways in which you can find the YouTube, the podcast, and the blog. Amen. Amen. One second. I try to keep a cup of water near me in case I feel a little bit parched. So we're reading through the book of Tobit, or Tobit, however it's pronounced. And the reason for that is because when I read through the Testament of Solomon, there was a demon named Asmodeus. And that particular demon interferes with marriages and causes infidelity within the marriage, and also can cause one spouse to fall out of love with the other one. It pretty much just causes so much friction that the marriage ends in divorce. So when I saw that, I remembered somewhere in the book of Tobit, I read about this same demon, Asmodeus. And so, for that reason, I wanted to read the book of Tobit on the podcast. So, in Tobit, we're going to see how this Asmodeus demon tried to interfere with the marriage. But what happened was God has sent an angel, an archangel, to help Tobit. And Tobit had no idea it was an archangel. He thought it was an actual person. In the previous podcast, when I read chapters 1 through 4, I learned that Tobit, his wife, and the family were indentured servants. They were slaves. Today, we know that there is only one group of people in history that were slaves. Reading through the book of Tobit, chapters 1 through 4, I also learned that Tobit was a Hebrew. I also learned that Tobit's lineage is of the Levitical priests. So this is going to be interesting for me to read through the book of Tobit for the second time and see what all I'm going to learn. So I invite you with me as I read the book of Tobit, and we're going to pick up where we left off from the previous podcast, and that is Tobit chapter 5. So let's get into it. Tobit chapter 5. Tobias then answered and said, Father, I will do all things which thou hast commanded me. But how can I receive the money, seeing I know him not? Then he gave him the handwriting and said unto him, Seek thee a man which may go with thee while I yet live, and I will give him wages, and go and receive the money. Therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael, that was an angel. But he knew not. And he said unto him, Canst thou go with me to Rages? And knowest thou those places well? To whom the angel said, I will go with thee, and I know the way well. For I have lodged with our brother Gabael. Then Tobias said unto him, Tarry for me till I tell my father. Then he said unto him, Go, and tarry not. So he went in and said to his father, Behold, I have found one which will go with me. Then he said, Call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he be a trusty man to go with thee. So he called him, and he came in, and they saluted one another. Then Tobit said unto him, Brother, show me of what tribe and family thou art. To whom he said, Doest thou seek for a tribe or family, or an hired man to go with thy son? Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, thy kindred and name. Then he said, I am Azari, as the son of Ananias the Great, and of thy brethren. Then Tobit said, Thou art welcome, brother. Be not now angry.